Hi folks, and welcome back to another part of Gary Grigsby's War in the East, the Battle of Smolensk. We are trying, of course, to break through to Smolensk, guys, and I want to show you just how close we are. We are quite close here. As you can see, this is pretty much our standard front line here towards the actual city of Smolensk. We can see a river running through, and this is a problem because any units on this side of the river, they're going to have a tough time getting over here. But what I'm going to try to do is move northeast as much as I can with these guys and pretty much push from there, even by moving some infantry units here, as you can see. I'll take these guys to go ahead and take their place, and unfortunately we have an airfield and an HQ there, so not the best situation. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and move these guys back. So I'll actually move the airfield and the HQ here to this this little village of Gorky and keep them there. With these guys, however, I am going to move them to the front line to pretty much take responsibilities of these units over here, the infantry divisions. And let's also move this infantry division, the 7th, over here to the front line. Let's go ahead and try and break through, of course. I'm going to do a major assault. And we did, losing 59 men, taking out 533. Pretty good odds, but we don't want to stop here. And typically, I wouldn't take this tank and go over here across the river, but in this case, I think we can leave a tiny gap open just to continue the assault here with our armor. Obviously, we can't get behind the enemy right now, but if we can continue the assault and push them back a little bit more, I think everybody wins. So let's go ahead, hit them again, and beautiful, completely routed the 75th Rifles. We're trying to get as many of these units away from Smolensk as we can. Obviously, if we can do that, we will probably come out on top in this battle. Here we go, another attack. A retreat, but of course, if we don't have guys behind the enemy units here, we're not going to be taking them prisoner, and they can reform quite quickly. We do have to keep that in mind. Standard scouting mission there, not really gonna do anything. So what I am going to do is take the Lair Motorized Brigade. They've taken so many places for us, and sure enough, they went ahead and made the enemy retreat. I'm going to use the same Lair Brigade and the 17th Panzer Division to attack over here. It's actually a town, the town of Krasnove. Let's get it. Beautiful. Oh, man. Smolensk is getting even closer, guys. The only thing I'm concerned about are the many groups of Soviet tanks here. So let's go for the weaker group. We still might not be able to send them running, but sure enough, we did. So far, the division closest is the 12th Panzer Division, along with the 161st Infantry Division. We really, if we keep on pushing, we're right there, guys, at victory, at potential victory, I should say. What I'm going to do is see if we can't move these guys one more turn, but I don't think so. We're going to have to wait just a bit. I really wanted to fill in that gap. Let's see, can we do it? I don't think so. It's this is not the easiest terrain over here near Smolensk, and it might even get worse depending on the weather. Now, currently, the weather's pretty nice outside, but again, it could get much worse. Okay, we could do another attack. Yeah, let's go for it. So it doesn't look just a standard scouting mission, and I can't say I blame them. I mean, this is a dangerous place without a shadow of a doubt. I'm not going to attack there. There would be really no point, but I might move forward over here. Ideally, I'd want to move this unit here, but we just don't have enough movement points to get him there. We could potentially, though, move these two guys. Aha! Okay, let's try this, guys. Push over here, and now I feel comfortable leading an attack. Let's go for it. And the defenders actually had some artillery fire to defend themselves. Of course, they still came out with a tremendous amount of casualties, but they did manage to survive that one. Let's attack over here. Again, a very risky attack. I think potentially here we don't necessarily have the best chance for victory. Keep on going. And this is our Das Reich Motorized Division. At the beginning of this battle, they were potentially one of our best units, but they've taken a lot of damage here, and I'm just not sure how much more of a fight they really have left in them. All right, another division shattered, but again, we're trying to go over here to Smolensk, and that's why I feel like attacking any of the units over here might be a bit of a waste of time. Of course, we'll still get points for taking Bryansk and all these other places, so we'll try to keep pushing. Another thing I'll do is, before the end of our battle here, I'm going to try to get these tanks over here in the swamps under the enemy lines and around, but it's going to take a lot of work. As you can see, even though we greatly outnumber the enemies here, because of the terrain, it's a lot harder to actually break through the lines. Let's go again for another attack. We finally managed to rout them, And, of course, the trick here would be to try and get some tanks behind the lines. But once again, we're in swamp territory. This is not easy to move through at all. As you can see, we can't even push forward here. Maybe we can send... Yeah, it took just to move 10 points. Only moved us 1 tile. So this is definitely an unwelcoming landscape in the south here. There we go. Got a nice big tank army there that we have to deal with, but I don't think they're going to be too much of a problem. Just because, once again, they're also dealing with the horrors of this swamp. Here we go, boys. Get some of these HQs even closer. It seems that every turn we're moving those HQs. And if you're doing a proper attack in this game and actually, you know, winning some battles, etc., yeah, it's quite normal for you to be moving those HQs almost all the time. And once again, we want to get these guys right here. I want to make sure that we have a front line, even though they would have to cross a river to attack us. Let's do this. Move this guy forward. We might even be able to get a sneaky little attack here across the river with the Das Reich SS Motorized Division, but I think they'll hold. And sure enough, as you can see there, we lost a few more men than we usually do with 107. Again, attacking across the river, almost never a good idea. Let's see. All right, moving some parachutists. But as you can see, we absolutely have to keep this momentum going. So I'm going to get all of these HQs across where they need to be. It looks like these guys may need to be at Vitebsk. But see, we have some of our units out of resupply. So we've got to be a little more careful with how we lead these armies. So I'll push these guys forward. Got to get this air unit a bit forward. And yeah, definitely that HQ unit. There we go. That's going to bring in some nice supply. In fact, I'll try to get even a little bit closer. And let me know what you guys think below. I'm wondering if maybe we should take a turn and simply not attack at all. Essentially, you know, take a turn to let these guys resupply for an entire turn and not undergo any combat stress, but I don't know if it's a good idea. So, especially those of you that have experience with this game, let me know if you think I should try that. Here we go. Welcome, Herr General. Can we push a little bit more? I don't think so. Yeah, this area in the north is what I'm really concerned about, because they've got some pretty strong divisions here. Now, yeah, we are forcing many of them to retreat, but again, they still have some strong units here that could hold out for a while and possibly even counterattack. So let's see if we can go for a massive attack on this infantry group. This might be the largest small battle we've had in this game. 402 of the enemy dead, 261 of our own men dead. The Soviets definitely were able to hold that position. Here we go, more infantry coming to you, boys. And there we go. So again, closer and closer to Smolensk, but still not quite there. And specifically these units right here, these two units look very strong. A 511, a 510. I think over here in the north, the best thing we can do is really just hold on to this defensive line. Of course, with some of these weaker units, the 1-5, etc., I will try to just break through and get them away from us. Also because they're behind our lines, and that's kind of the last thing I want. Okay, massive attack here. Let's see how this goes. Just a tremendous charge. They did retreat, 1,035 casualties. I was actually thinking that that would be even worse for them. Okay, maybe we have a chance to do a little flank here. Beautiful enemy unit retreated right there, guys. I can't wait to see the casualty count at the end of this particular video. I am going to strike that infantry unit, although that might not be such a wise decision. Looks like it wasn't necessarily a bad attack. We lost 20 men, but again, we're just scouting. We don't have enough to really make any sort of serious difference. What I am going to try to do is actually bomb that location a little bit and just see if I can weaken the enemies and destroy some of the bombers on the ground that attack. Not too many, but even 2 or 3 fighters and bombers on a single attack run is not a great idea. All right, let's see. Anywhere else we can push here, or have we pretty much done it for this turn? We could try again here to push across the river. I'm going with it. But, of course, yeah, that's not going to work so well. I think right now we really just have to hope that our supplies keep on running on time. Let's see where our engineers are, and there we go. We've got those engineers working as quickly as they can, but they are quite far from the front. We've also got this group of men, the 34th Corps, that 35th Corps, excuse me, 34th Corps, that's hanging out over here, and no, it is 35th, shame on me. and doing their thing, but it's going to take them way too long to get through the Pripyat marshes. I would guess another 5 turns, so kind of a waste of time. We can get this guy a bit closer. And this guy too. Alright, guys, I think it's time to turn it over to the enemy. Oh, see, we got to be careful. Right there, we just found a perfect place to put another HQ. Let's see what the Soviets do. They've done quite a lot of actual counterattacks on us, and that's what I'm worried about, that they do some more counterattacks and really manage to break through, forcing us to respond and pretty much stop our forward momentum. That's something we don't want to happen at all. Okay, here we go. Let's end the turn and turn it over to the Soviets, no pun intended. Don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this series, the best thing you can do is hit that like button, drop a comment. Also, make sure to add the playlist and follow up on the videos. The best way to follow up on the episodes here is to just hit the bell. The actual YouTube... oh, look at that. We delivered some cargo. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Yeah, definitely go ahead and... the notifications. You're not going to get the updates for the next episode, and you might even miss right now, because this is exactly what we needed, is to get some desperately needed supplies, but I think the enemy is also getting some supplies here. I really hope it helps our men quite a lot here. I mean, much fewer men than the Soviets, of course, but the truth is they have a lot more men they can lose. They can get away with a lot more losses than we can, and so we do have to be careful here. And as you can see over Smolensk, they are forming a defensive line. They are forcing some of our men to retreat here. Pretty aggressive attacks, and I knew the north was going to be a problem. It connects here to push us back. So quite strong. Not sure a counterattack work. We might be able to do it for a turn, but after that, no dice. What I'm hoping is that the weather remains good and that we don't have a situation now where we have a bunch of mud everywhere, because if we do, then getting to Smolensk is going to take us a very long time. Okay, guys, let's take a look at these casualties. So total losses on our side, 34,488. 10,630 of those are men killed. Now, if we look at the Soviet side, 286,000. So we're still doing quite well in terms of body count, etc., but there's a lot of work to do. Also, if you guys want to see the losses in terms of everything from infantry squads to vehicles, things like that, take a look over here. You can see we've taken out a tremendous amount of enemy tanks. If you look at the Soviet side, just look at all those T-26s and T-34s we have just nuked. But we've had a bunch of losses on our own side as well. I expected the Panzer 2J wouldn't do so well, and it's not. So we've lost 102 of those. Lost 20 Panzer 4s and 10 Stugs. But I think for 3 turns, those are pretty acceptable losses. But let me know what you think, guys, and let me know what you think we should do here. It looks like there's no mud yet. The frustrating part is they formed a defensive line in front of Smolensk, and even if we break through here, we've got to deal with, look at this 96 infantry division. This must be tens of thousands of Soviet soldiers in Smolensk. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care.